glass is off, but the LCD is also busted. So new part already has LCD attached, so we'll have to take this LCD out and get the rest of this glass out up here at the top as well. Okay, just a little metal X-Acto. Kind of pull up our glass so we're not using our fingers for those kinds of reasons. I think I'm going to apply a little more heat to the top of this to make that glue a little softer, make my job a little easier. Much easier. Rule of thumb, things always work out best when you get them hot. There's a lot of things that will apply to in life. Pulling up the rest of our old adhesive, since we'll be putting down new. I don't need this old stuff in my way later. Okay, adhesive is up, old broken digitizer is off. A little cleanup and we'll start working on the LCD. Okay, I think we're ready for the LCD now. If we look at the back, we notice our LCD connection is here and the ribbon cable runs down at the bottom. So we need to reuse this ribbon cable, so we don't need to tear it. So we know that down here is where it connects to the new LCD, and then we can confirm that by looking at how the LCD is laid out here. So that cable runs down, connects right there. So we don't need to tear that cable, so we will need to hinge the removal of this from the top and not the bottom. It should pry up pretty easy. It doesn't matter if we break it because it's already broken. We just don't need to tear the ribbon cable that's attached to it. You can see that cable is already pulled through, and our LCD is now up and out of the way. We have our mid frame remaining with motherboard and battery attached to the back side. So now we are pretty well ready to take this off and apply that to our new screen and put the new screen in the mid frame. Again, this is adhesive down pretty good, so a little heat, and that's going to help us not tear that cable as we're pulling it up. Like so. Cable saved. Okay, so we got our new screen and new digitizer. Screen's already, or the LCD is already glued to the digitizer, so I don't have to worry about that. It's on there quite well, for the most part. Actually, I think I'm going to separate that. No, I'm going to leave it. So what I've done is temporarily hooked up the LCD. I haven't hooked up the Digitizer, we're still flapping out. Basically just to verify that the LCD is working. Probably going to actually go ahead and lift that out and hook up this Digitizer so that I can test it as well. And it looks like the Digitizer is recognizing touch and that it is in fact working. So that's a good sign. So I can undo my temporary installation and make this permanent. Alright, so now we gotta get... Sorry about that. I keep getting interrupted, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna lay down some new adhesive and prep our mid-frame for permanent installation of the new glass digitizer and LCD. As soon as my adhesive decides to work right. Pretty straightforward process. On this part, we're just lining the edges with adhesive. You gotta cut out around this one because we have the digitizer cable that we don't need getting stuck down to something as we're trying to put it in place. So this one will have to be cut back quite a bit here. Get a nice cut in there, and we can just take that section right back out. And we need to do that all the way around. Of course, then for the sides, I have some thinner adhesive. It's not quite as wide. So we'll get this done, and then we'll be right back. Okay, we're all adhesived up all the way around, ready for permanent installation. So we'll expose our adhesive layer. This is just double-sided black Tessa tape. It's pretty durable stuff, especially after it sets for a little bit. We got our warranty stickers on our new part. Yep. Come on now. There we go. Trying to do all that in one go. And it's being contrary. Told you, adhesive's pretty strong. Somebody else's phone's going off. Hook our battery cable back up. And if we did everything right, and whenever I hit the power button, we should have a functional screen. And it looks to me like we're going to be functional. Looks like it's working to me. Now all we gotta do is get our back cover hooked back up to the device and get this snapped back on the back so that our circuit boards are not exposed. Be right back. Okay, so I had the back sitting on a heating pad for a little bit to kind of give it some play room. Things tend to bend and snap easier when they're hot. As I mentioned earlier, the best way to get things to work to your advantage is to get them hot, and you can apply that situation to most things in life. But we got it on, we're snapped on there. Got a nice little scratch layer for the customer, new car mat, so to speak. But everything on the tablet itself is functioning like it should. Of course, I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, so the browser's not going to work. But that is a complete repair from where it was at earlier, with a busted LCD as well. I don't know if you can tell in the LCD. Which, yeah, you kind of can. There's a big bubble spot there, sort of. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but it's cracked up pretty good. It runs all the way down through there, around this area, off to the side, there, and there. Like new. Thanks for watching.